Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I want to thank Mr. Lynch for your experience and for your bipartisan effort to lead on 4765, exposing China's support for the Taliban Act. The Biden administration's botched withdrawal from Afghanistan in August of 2021 sent a clear message to the rest of the world. The United States was no longer ready to deal with a military presence of an adversary in a critical region of the world. While violence and disorder have ensued during the fall of Kabul, China capitalized on the chaos, using it as another opportunity to degrade the United States and our interests in the region for the Afghan people. And Afghanistan under a Taliban control emboldened China to present a perfect opportunity for the Chinese Communist Party to gain a geopolitical foothold in the region. Speaking personally as an intelligence officer who worked counter-adversary operations in Afghanistan, the threat the Taliban poses to basic human rights and global stability is real, and is emboldened by the reality that China doesn't hesitate to use relationships with terrorist groups like the Taliban to expand their global influence. In fact, following the disastrous withdrawal, China announced its willingness to lend financial support and legitimacy to the Taliban-led government. In Afghanistan, it included members of the U.S.-designated foreign terrorist organization, the Haqqani Network. Within hours of the fall of Kabul, there were reports of Chinese foreign ministry officials on the ground seeking to establish a relationship for the reconstruction, the development of Afghanistan, but most importantly, for their own personal interests. To be clear, Beijing's investment in Afghanistan furthers its long-term economic, strategic, and political interests. Afghanistan is a key to China's Belt and Road Initiative because it is at the crossroads of these three regions: South Asia, Central Asia, and the Middle East. Beijing's long-term strategic objectives cannot be achieved without a stable Afghanistan firmly under their grasp. Afghanistan also has an abundance of minerals including gold, precious stones, coal, oil, gas, lithium, rare earth minerals. China already controls most of the world's rare earth minerals, which are used to manufacture a variety of technologies, including components for the electronic vehicles and smartphones and touchscreens so many Americans depend on today. Allowing China to harvest Afghans' minerals, indeed exploit them, strengthens their market position in the world while also funding the terrorist regime that controls the country. And Afghanistan, controlled by the Taliban, funded by the CCP, with an unlimited ambition to restructure the global power dynamics, poses a significant threat to U.S. national interests, not to mention the millions of Afghans who live under Taliban regime today. That is why I joined my colleague from Massachusetts, Representative Lynch, in introducing the Exposing China's Support for the Taliban Act. This legislation requires the Treasury to develop a plan to combat Chinese financial and strategic support to the Taliban. Friends, in a Congress that's often divided along party lines, advancing American strategies and American national interests is a bipartisan effort. I thank my colleague, Representative Lynch, for your leadership on this and for introducing this important legislation. I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to support this legislation, to stand firm against China, to hold the Taliban accountable, and importantly, protect U.S. national interests and those of our allies still on the ground in Afghanistan. With that, I yield back the remainder of my time.